Hello, you are probably no stranger to the fact that the whole of Germany blindly and irrationally supported Hitler's dictatorship to believe that all planets are made of ice and the Germans are the quintessence of humanity. However, why can Hitler brainwash, can implement a policy of stupidity like this? Surely many of you have not found out, so let's explore Hitler's brainwashing tactics in today's video. First, the extremely effective weapon that Hitler used, guess what? Yes, emotions to be exact. People can go crazy with emotions. Example like this: Mr. A and B driving a car collided with each other, scratched a little paint, and lost $500. However, instead of spending $500 to fix the car and shake hands to reconcile, the two men argued and broke into each other. As a result, one man went to jail, one went to the hospital. Thinking about it, it was really because of $500 that to pay a very expensive price. If they were rewinded to the past, they would never behave like that. Rationally, it is easy to recognize right and wrong, but emotions do not. It is because of temporary emotions that they acted out of control despite the consequences. And Hitler used emotions to hit the hearts of the people. He exhorted, "The Germans are the elite, the superior people. Let the whole world be under German rule. Support me if you love your country. Support me if you love soldiers of Germany." At first, you will find it tasteless and emotionless, but as a German you will have a completely different opinion, because Hitler not only exhorted but he also acted. So how did he act? The answer is that he knows reason is the enemy of emotion, and he decided to carry out the eradication of reason by the policy of stupidity so that people live in a world full of illusions and dreams, only had a unique belief in Hitler's dictatorship. On May 10, 1933, more than 25,000 books were burned by Nazi officials. They called the books un-German or treasonous. What are these books? Books of almost every genre. It has Marxist literature, books on psychology, liberalism and democracy, books written by Jews, foreigners, books on art, theater, psychology, almost any kind of book that the Nazi Party believed ran counter to the party and its dictatorship. The Nazi communications minister justified this by saying, "The German man of the future will not be just a man of books." A so-called inventor in Austria once saw the moon and dreamed, "The moon can be made of ice because it looks white," and so he said, "The whole universe, including other planets, must be made of ice." He published his theory under the title Value Ice Theory. It doesn't even sound logically correct, but it is surprising and unbelievable that Hitler promoted this theory. The world beyond the earth is made of ice, and he even called that inventor came to award an honorary doctorate for this discovery. During that time, German intellectuals were strictly controlled. The only place where logic was discussed was at universities. However, these schools were also tightly controlled by the Nazis, to the point where senior university professors at all universities were appointed by Nazi Party officials. And the subjects taught in the school were also strictly limited in order to promote the Nazi ideology. If anyone did not obey orders, immediately would be fired. Very few people dared to oppose, except for some special people like Albert Einstein. Einstein had always openly criticized Hitler's party. After Hitler came to power, Einstein decided to resign from his job at the Berlin Academy of Sciences as a move in protest. Not only that, he also said that, "I will give up my German citizenship and do not want to continue being a citizen of an unequal country." And of course anyone can guess, being a brilliant scholar, Einstein became an enemy of the German people, being constantly vilified by the media, simply because Hitler had the media in his hands. Not only that, the Nazi Party burned a lot of extremely valuable scientific research documents of Einstein. Albert Einstein was considered the #1 public enemy of the country, which caused Einstein to leave Germany and run to Belgium. You may not know, in 1933 Germany suddenly went viral with a book in which Hitler was transformed into a hero comparable to Jesus and believed to be the one who would save Germany. The book had such a strong effect on the people that Hitler's image became respectable, but it turned out later it became known that it was Hitler who wrote the book. The Jews, who were logical and intelligent, also soon became enemies of Hitler. He built conspiracy theories to blame all the sins and defeats of Germany on this people, and the result followed by the Holocaust, which claimed the lives of millions. Turns out the policy of stupidity applied anywhere works very well, and once again we see how successfully Hitler applied it. Thanks for watching the video, goodbye, and see you again.